On May 27, 2025, the Winder Police Department responded to a report of unauthorized presence at a vacant residence in Winder, Georgia. This encounter raises three core legal questions: whether the initial detention was lawful, whether the evidence satisfied Georgia's burglary statute, and whether the post-arrest interview was constitutionally obtained. Under Terry v. Ohio in 1968, officers may conduct an investigative stop based on specific articulable facts creating reasonable suspicion that criminal activity is afoot.
Excuse me, ma'am. Winder PD. Yes, ma'am. We got a call that nobody was supposed to be here at this house.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
And who was that call from?
One of the neighbors.
They should be here all for today.
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask your name?
Sure, it's Laura.
Laura?
Yeah.
I got you. What's your last name?
King.
I'm sorry, it was Laura what?
King.
King, you said you come here all the time?
Yeah, I mean, they've been gone for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was having to, like, pack their stuff up and stuff like that.
Okay, so is that what you were doing in here now? You're just helping them pack their stuff up?
I've been here probably, like, maybe 2 hours.
2 hours? Okay. Do you know the homeowner's name?
It is Ruth.
Ruth what?
I can't remember her last name. I think it's Martha, and they call her Ruth. I call her Ruth.
Her name is Martha and you call her Ruth? Okay. Okay. So you were just in there packing up today?
Yeah.
I got you. So if I give the homeowner a call, she'll know that you're here?
Yeah.
I got you. Do you have her phone number where you can contact her?
I don't.
So you haven't been in contact with her?
No, I mean, she had left a note, and I come over and I look for the key. She was going to leave the key here. And so I got the key and went in and was going to start cleaning.
You got an ID on you?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. Go talk to the next one.
I got you.
I'll grab the ID for you and everything. Cool.
Wait, when did you last talk to the homeowner?
Oh, Lord, maybe 3 months ago?
3 months
3 months ago.
Maybe.
3 months ago.
So 3 months ago, you talked to them, and she said you're fine to come in here and do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, and they haven't even been back.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Where was the key at?
Oh, right there.
How did you know the key was there?
Because they told me.
They told you 3 months ago?
I mean, I had come over here. She said you could come clean and stuff.
Is there anybody else in the house right now?
No.
All right.
I want to double check the house.
Well,
We can't, but we need our numbers, yeah.
6 to dispatch. Can we get on a unit? Ma'am, go and put your stuff down for me.
Yes. Put it back down.
Right now, you're just being detained, okay?
Okay.
Just based on everything.
Yeah.
Ma'am, go and put your stuff down for me.
Yeah, here. Yeah, put it back down.
Right now, you're just being detained, okay?
Okay.
Just based on everything.
Yeah. The key is right there. The key was right there.
Hey, stop.
Yes.
160 dispatch, one detained. Can we get someone to come on Nancy Street, please? Where's your ID at?
It's in that thing.
It's in this little wallet. Can I look in your wallet and get your ID? Okay.
You got anything else supposed to stick the poke and hurt me?
No, sir.
No, the knife.
I was coming right back.
Right now, you're detained and.
So they called the neighbor who initially called to report the woman to get a hold of the actual homeowner as the lady continues to plead her perspective.
Have him call the neighbor or the owner right now, confirming that no one's supposed to be in there.
He doesn't have his phone on him right now.
Do you have a number?
It'd be different if I wasn't trying to lock up.
So well, basically, you haven't talked to the homeowner. Right, never mind, just don't say nothing right now. We'll read you some things. If you want to talk to us, then you can talk to us. Based on what everything you just told me makes no sense.
This man, he sat here and watched me.
Who?
He did. Look, he lives right there. He's outside the whole time.
Yeah, that's who called. Stop yelling at me.
That's so f***ed up.
That's f***ed up that a neighbor's watching another neighbor's house?
No, but why would you sit there?
Hey, no more talking. Zip it.
Why would he sit there and watch this? I sat here.
Stop. Just stop.
They sat out there and talked for hours.
So we just got her coming out. I briefly saw a shadow. I don't know if she's with anybody or not.
I mean, I just couldn't do like
Yes, if you don't mind. Come on. Well, I know.
That's
very. I got her stuff, like the hoodie and stuff.
I got you.
She had jewelry and stuff in her pocket.
All right.
This is him on the phone right now.
Okay.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah.
You on speaker so you can talk to him.
You're taking your report, that's good.
Okay.
That's your caller in the driver's
If y'all want to ask him anything.
Hey, this is Officer Dutcher, Weiner Police Department.
Yes, sir.
So, what's the name of the homeowner here?
Martha is the homeowner. It's my mother.
Martha. I got you. Are you the one who normally looks after this place?
Yeah, we've been trying to get it cleaned up so we could sell it. I had to move her up here because her health got so bad. I'm in Dahlonega.
I got you. Do you know, is there anybody else that's supposed to be in this house at all other than, you?
No, sir. Me, my mama, that's it.
Me?
And, yeah, of course, our neighbor over there, he's a good fella.
Okay.
So you didn't give anyone permission to come in at all?
No, sir.
Do y'all have like jewelry and watches and stuff inside?
She had some fake jewelry and some different stuff inside. Yeah, she had a lot of different jewelry in the back bedrooms. We'd cleaned most of the other stuff out, but she did have a little bit of stuff left.
Is there anything else of value in the house that, we need to be on the lookout for?
No, not that I know. We had cleaned, like I said, we'd cleaned most of it out. There was just some minor stuff in there, nothing major.
What did she say how she got in?
So it looks like she broke one of the glass, or the little plastic pane, and just reached her hand in and unlocked it.
You're all around by it.
Just right here.
Right here.
Yes, sir. Well, I just want to confirm, you do want to press charges on her?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Standard does not require probable cause, only objective, concrete grounds the officer can articulate. A neighbor's report of unauthorized presence in a vacant home, combined with a subject on site who could not correctly identify the person who authorized her entry, cleared that threshold without difficulty. Under Illinois versus Wardlow, evasive movement, here, quickly exiting a garage at night, relevant, though not independently sufficient, factor in the reasonable suspicion analysis. Probable cause crystallized upon direct contact with the homeowner. Under Illinois versus Gates, probable cause requires only a fair probability that a crime was committed, substantially lower than proof beyond a reasonable doubt. A homeowner's unequivocal denial of authorization, paired with the subject's unexplained possession of the owner's property inside the residence, established that probability. At that point, the detention converted from a Terry stop to a probable cause arrest. Georgia Code Section 1671 defines first-degree burglar as entering or remaining within a dwelling without authority and with intent to commit a felony or theft. This is a specific intent crime. The state must prove both unauthorized entry and the accompanying intent to steal. Georgia law does not require forced entry, deliberately breaking a glass panel, reach and manipulate an interior lock satisfies the unlawful entry element. The Court of Appeals confirmed in Davis v. State 308, Gap 7, 2011, that a dwelling where the owner retains stored belongings and intact locks meets the statute, even during the owner's temporary absence. Physical evidence, broken glass, rummaged jewelry boxes, and property found in the subject's possession established intent circumstantially, penalty on a first conviction. Felony, 1 to 20 years imprisonment under Section 1671(a). Theft by taking under Georgia Code Section 16-8, satisfied when a person unlawfully appropriates another's property with intent to deprive the owner regardless of how that property was taken. Under Brown v. State 236 GA, App 478, 1999, recent unexplained possession of another's property is sufficient circumstantial evidence of this offense. This charge stood independently of the burglary count. Miranda v. Arizona mandates rights advisement before any custodial interrogation. Rights were properly administered prior to the post-arrest interview. The subject waived those rights and agreed to speak. The resulting interview produced a documented pattern of contradictions on the homeowner's name, the claimed authorization, the location of a key, and awareness of the broken entry point, all admissible and probative under established Fifth Amendment waiver doctrine.
We'll get the rest of your stuff.
If I was going to take stuff, I'd have my whole day.
This is the lady's. It was on the floor in my patrol car. She said it belongs to the lady.
Yeah.
She just had it in her pocket because she moved it and was cleaning. I read her Miranda rights already, and she agreed to talk.
Cool. Appreciate it.
I mean, if I was trying to steal stuff, I would be loading my damn
Do you have any
vehicle
personal
up or
belongings
something.
inside there?
No, just my purse that I'm cleaning out.
Just your purse. So jewelry that's on your wrist or anything, is that
No, I don't
yours
have
or not yours? You don't have anything?
No. I mean, if you need to pat me down, you can.
Well, I did that already, but we'll check in and see, okay? Since you just have rings appearing.
Well, I didn't,
Yeah, what about all those rings in your pocket? Whose were those?
I was wiping down in the kitchen, or I was clearing away in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then just stuck them there, finished what I was doing. I would put stuff in the room,
What room?
like their room.
Okay. And who's they? Who's the homeowners again? What's the male's name?
I can't remember his name. Her name is, I believe it's Sue.
Okay, because
They
you told
call
us.
her-
Go ahead.
I call her Sue.
What about Martha that you told us originally? And then there's another name,
I think that her full name is Martha.
because it's 3 different names you told me so far. What's her husband's name?
I don't know her husband. I was just talking to her.
Just talking to her?
Yeah.
Several months ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago,
A
right?
while back.
Okay. So what made you randomly out of the blue, since you haven't talked to him in 3 months, show up to the house?
I've been coming over here sitting.
You have been?
Yes, and he's safe. He's a
Hey, I know. He didn't see you at all. He saw the lights on in the house.
How'd you get in the house?
The key.
Where's the key at?
It was up under the thing I showed you.
There's no key there.
Where's the key at
You
now?
took the key.
I didn't take the key.
All right.
I'll go double check, but
And listen, y'all, you gonna make your
Did you say she has more stuff in her? She had more rings or jewelry?
yeah, it's over there on the counter. She had.
I
She,
had it
everything
right here. Right here.
what color was the key? Was it gold? Was it silver?
I want to say it was silver with it had like a key ring on it.
What did it have? Was it like a?
It was like a long silver key ring.
And was that in your pocket? You said.
Yes, that was.
Okay.
And then there was a watch or something. I think you grabbed that.
Yeah, there's a watch in there. Yeah, there's no. I'll go double check, but there ain't no key there. So it's been 3 months since you physically, or you've talked to the homeowners. You said
months, yes.
several months. Okay, so several months.
A while.
So you've been coming back and forth. You said, right?
Yes.
Was there any damage to any part of the house? Was there any damage to any part of the door that you recognized? Was there anything that was out of the ordinary that may have been? You thought that was that's weird. That wasn't there before. That you've been coming around here so often?
Not to my
Not to your knowledge?
my knowledge. I mean, everything looks pretty much the same.
Okay.
And I would come and sit and wait to see if somebody would, come home.
Why would you do that?
To talk to her, to come on in the house and finish cleaning up and helping pack and stuff.
Help him pack?
Yeah,
Okay.
because a lot of the stuff's, packed up.
Not really. Not too much.
I mean, there's not a lot in there.
If you've been coming for the last 3, 4, 5 months packing and doing stuff.
I would say I've only come maybe twice.
Only twice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what time did you get here tonight?
About 3.
About 3 o'clock?
Maybe 2 or 3.
What time do you think it is now?
I thought it was about 9 or 10.
Okay. So you've been here for, 6 hours?
Yeah, and I was just hanging around. And I was like, well, let me go ahead and see if the key. And I got the key. I mean, they said I touched it.
All right, I'll go double check, make sure the key. But you didn't notice anything wrong with the door? Nothing missing from the door? Nothing broken from the door?
That glass thing was missing, but...
When did you notice that? Because I just asked you that. You said no, everything was...
I know that's what you're asking about, but I didn't notice it at the time. It didn't strike me as odd.
So when I just asked you if anything's been broken, missing, out of the ordinary, you just said no.
No, I didn't really pay attention to it.
Were you under the assumption that you could take all the jewelry and stuff? Because if you're just here packing and cleaning...
No, I was under the assumption I'm going to wipe this down and take this where it goes. And just run home and get a little something for dinner. That's why I was locking up for dinner, and I was going to come right back. I wasn't under any assumption at all. I was here doing, what I was doing.
Officer Dutch receives a B+. The detention was legally grounded under Terry direct homeowner contact was the decisive step that elevated suspicion to probable cause. Miranda was properly administered throughout. The grade falls short of an A because open-ended initial questioning allowed the subject to construct multiple contradictory explanations before being pressed on specific inconsistencies. More targeted, compressed early questioning would have surfaced those conflicts sooner. Laura King receives an F. She entered a dwelling without authority by deliberately breaking a glass panel to manipulate the interior lock, satisfying both the entry element and the specific intent requirement of Section 16(7)(1). She remained inside, rummaged through the homeowner's belongings, and was apprehended with those items. Her post-Miranda interview produced documented contradictions across every material fact, providing independent evidentiary support for conviction beyond the physical evidence alone. She was convicted of first-degree burglary and theft by taking sentenced to 1 month in jail and 5 years of probation. 3 legal takeaways from this case. First, an identified civilian tip carries inherent reliability under Georgia appellate precedent, making community observation directly operative in establishing the Terry reasonable suspicion threshold. Second, in unauthorized entry cases, direct homeowner contact is the most efficient path for probable cause. Placing the victim's explicit denial on the record before any arrest decision is made eliminates the evidentiary weight of the suspect's competing narrative entirely. Third, post-Miranda cooperation without counsel is high risk. The Fifth Amendment right to silence exists precisely to prevent a suspect's own contradictory statements from becoming prosecution's primary evidentiary asset. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis useful, consider subscribing for more legal breakdowns of police interactions. Thank you for watching.